Good morning, guys. How you guys doing today? Um, it is 28th, early morning. Um, I'm actually just enjoying creating videos for you guys, and I'm actually enjoying your questions. Shout out to Jamel again. He has lots of good questions, and I decided to share them again on video because these questions are questions that any of you guys would have, and I think they're great questions that he asked, and they're very relevant to all of us. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get right into all right, so question number one, he asks, um, is any of your ads geared towards marketing your brick and mortar location? If so, does that content look different? Good question. So to give you a little bit of context, so we got our brick and mortar back in January 2019. We didn't open up until April 2019. So to be honest, I ran ads, and remember, we didn't start running ads until 2020 with a monthly budget. So what I will say is that I was running ads to promote our grand opening, and that was in 2019. So I ran ads about a month before, and what that content looked like, it was just videos at our store, videos of us remodeling it and getting it ready, videos of us in production getting ready for the grand opening. And even now, if we were running ads to, if we were trying to get people to our brick and mortar, I would just take a picture with us in front of our store, or scenes within our store, and then the only difference with these different ads is the targeting, the demographic, the location of where you're going to be targeting. So that's where you want to change up the locations. So for example, we were running ads to Douglasville, Hiram, the west side of Atlanta, and then for the grand opening, I remember I was running ads to everybody in Metro Atlanta. So I was just staying within that area of Atlanta, like 50 miles of where we were, because people will travel 50 miles. We've had people travel from Florida, Alabama, North Carolina. It doesn't matter. So that's the only difference with the ads. It's just changing up the location of where you're going to target. Keep in mind when you are targeting like locally and things like that, it's going to be more expensive because it's a smaller niche type of audience. But yeah, man, like I would say use content where it's showing the people, show that human element. I would say for like you and your wife, show pictures of you and her, together. And people, especially today, they love to support black-owned businesses. They really love to support black love together in business. That's a big one. So I would really use that. I would take a picture in your space, have that as the ad. Um, in the content, talk about the story of how you guys got started, possibly, and then get them to get to the store. Also, give people coupon codes. Like for example, hey, if you screenshot this ad and you show this to me at my brick and mortar, you get 10% off. You know what I'm saying? Do stuff like that so you can kind of contract where people are coming from. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually a way to kind of market to get people to your brick and mortar. So, but actually, we're about to open back up our brick and mortar, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more ads. I actually can't wait till we can announce the day that we're gonna open, so that I can begin marketing and getting people to get back to that brick and mortar location. Because even though we sell mostly online, that brick and mortar, like that's gonna be some good sales right there because we don't have to fulfill the order. The products are already gonna be there. Just put them in the bag and just they go right out. So that was a good question. All right, question number two was, do you have two primary accounts for in-store and online, or does online and in-store run through the same account? Good question. You guys know that I'm a huge advocate of Shopify, and ever since day one, we were using Shopify. We were using one system because it only takes one system. Shopify has they can control your online, and they also can control the in person. They have the POS system. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs, especially with brick and mortar, that will use Shopify, and then they will be using something like Clover for their in person, or they will. I see people use Wix for the online website, and they'll use like Square for the in person. Um, I don't think there's a need to do that. I think that that's two bills that you don't need. And then again, Shopify is number one. Telling y'all, I be yelling Shopify. Use that Shopify POS. It's amazing. Because think about it, you got one system. So when we were at these physical events or at the farmers markets and we were selling to the customers there. When we collected their data, it would all be in one place. You know what I'm saying? It's one place. When we're talking about tracking sales, you have one system that tracks all of it in one place. Because I see people, like I said, they will have the two different systems. And then when I ask them, well, how much money have you made? They would have to go through one system and then the other system to calculate how much they've made. One system, guys. Shopify makes it very, very simple. One bill. You know what I'm saying? So I highly recommend, guys, use Shopify and also use Shopify POS if you're trying to make sales in person. Next question. He asks, do you have the ability to do the things Emmanuel is doing for you regarding running ads? If so, what's the advantage of using Emmanuel? In parentheses, he just said he's just trying to understand my mindset. Great, great question right there. That's a great question. So, yes, to answer your question, yes, I do have the ability to do what Emmanuel is doing. I have the ability to do a lot of things that I hire people to do. But the thing that I'm getting to the stage where, and this is from advice from others. This has been like different just readings I've gotten and things like that spiritually. Is that I'm in a phase where I need to delegate more. For so long, I have tried to do so many things by myself. Think about it, guys. 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. You saw the numbers. That was me doing everything myself. Me and my wife doing everything ourselves. Once we started to delegate, that's when we started to really started to scale, and we started to really like make some ground, and scaling up our revenue and things like that. So yeah, yes, I do know how to do what he does, but I'm about delegating. There are other tasks that need to be done. So when it comes to running ads, I'm not a huge fan of setting up ads. I'll be completely honest with you. I'm not like huge fan of doing it. It's boring. I don't like to do all that technical stuff, even though I know how to do it. And that's the key, guys. Always understand. You have to understand that the before you hire someone, you have to have some sort of understanding of it. Because if you don't, then they could play you. And that's what I always knew was that I have to have an understanding of ads. I mean, think if one day I don't want to use them no more. You know what I'm saying? I do have the understanding of it. If I do want to build my stuff in house, like I said in that other video, then I have to have an understanding of it so I can train people in my house, in house. You know what I'm saying? So to answer that question, I do have the ability to do it. So what's the advantage of using him? The advantage of using Emmanuel is the fact that I don't have to be like attached to my ads all the time. He is there to, if ads aren't performing well, he will reallocate the budget to the ads that are doing well. He will set up the ads. I literally have my people who create content for me. All they do is shoot my content right over to Emmanuel, and then he is going to set up these pieces of content and run ads and begin testing. So he's always testing different pieces of content. Running ads is, I'm not gonna say it's a lot, but it's something that I just don't want to do. I don't want to do that, even though I know how to do it. And what I would recommend, especially if somebody's early in their journey, yes, probably do it by yourself if you have the knowledge to do that. If you have the time to sit down and really learn how to run ads and things like that, that'll be very beneficial to you. That actually adds way more value to you. You know what I'm saying? And then you can start training people in house. Or if you want to, you can hire somebody like an Emmanuel to run your ads for you. Especially if you are at that point where you're ready to run ads, you have the money to pay someone to do it. Um, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is that do you have the money to pay somebody to do it? At the time, I had money to pay someone to do it. I had other things that I needed to get done. It's still a lot of higher level things that I need to get done. Like I'm helping people out in production. I'm trying to order material. I'm trying to get our costs down. Figure out ways to generate more revenue. And that task of the running those ads, I did give it to Emmanuel. Another thing about Emmanuel that I really liked was that he was very niche, meaning he decided that hey, I'm just going to focus on paid advertising. I want to focus on that and just get my skills up in paid advertising. And I really like that. I like people where they are very direct and very niche as to what they do. I like people like that because I'm like, okay, that's what he does right there. I want to use him for that. So I like people. I don't like people who are everywhere. that do a little bit of this, that do a little bit of that are jack of all trades. I really kind of don't like that. I kind of run away from that. But if you have a niche and you are very targeted at what you do, you know what I'm saying? You have a skill set that I need, I will hire you because you know what I'm saying. You're showing me that that's what you want and that's what you're about and things like that. So yeah, that's my mindset. Delegation, growth. I'm trying to be vacationing, you know what I'm saying, overseas and places like that, and just have people report back to me and let me know that hey, this ad is doing well, this ad is doing well. You know, these people are always in communication with me. They're always talking to me, so that's a good thing. So I just want people to report back to me and let me know that this is doing well, so we can keep running with this. Next question. How often are you sending emails to your customers? Is Emmanuel responsible for this as well? So, to answer your question, Emmanuel is not responsible for that. So Emmanuel is just Emmanuel. His name is Emmanuel Mara. That's my ads manager. He runs all the ads. I have another person. Her name is Ashley. She does my blogs. She does everything copy. That's what I say. She does everything all copy. So that's blogs. That is community management, and she also does emails. She does our emails. And actually, over the past few months, I just start training her about how to use Klaviyo. So I taught her how to use Klaviyo at first. So then she was sending like 2 to 3 emails a week. So now we're in the fourth quarter. I have tasked her with setting up all of our holiday emails. So that's what she's doing right now. So I'm preparing her for like for 2021, because in 2021 I'm gonna have her doing all of my email marketing. I'm gonna have her doing everything because I'm still doing email marketing, but I'm gonna have her doing all of it next year. And let me go back to your question. How often are we sending emails? So we're sending emails probably like give or take. Like right now, we're probably sending emails like 3, 4 times a week right now. And a lot of those emails they consist of different things. Like I'm sending a like a sales campaign, which is just announcing the sale. We're sending. I'm resending that same campaign to people who didn't open. So that's 2 emails right there. We're sending like social proof emails, which are like just showing the proof of the product, using it and like reviews from people. So I'm sending that type of stuff. We're sending like product description emails. That's another email where we're just like picking a product, talking about it, and sending it out. Um, we're sending so that right there. That's just a little bit of emails right there. That's 4 emails right there, like already. And if we not to mention if we resend the campaign to people who didn't open it. So honestly, as I was meeting with Ashley, like last week, and we were talking about our plan for Q4 and going into 2021, we honestly could send an email every single day. And I think that's what we're about to start getting to is sending emails every single day. But the thing is, it's not going to be sent to the same people. We're going to segment that list. We're going to hit different segments of our list and put contextual messages to certain people. So, yeah, like email is just we are sending emails pretty consistently, and I'm trying to increase that emails more. So again, back to that last question about just if like what's the benefit and the advantage of me using a manual? Again, what's the benefit of me using Ashley if I know how to do all this stuff again? Delegation. It's delegation. I've been working at Urban Eating for the past 5, 6 years. Um, Kind of right now, I want to do other things. I want to, start to expand my portfolio, our investment portfolio. We want to get into rental properties. I'm doing things like this with Patreon. I like to help other people. I want to start another business. I want to start another business. So there are other things that I want to do, and I'm really getting to this aspect of just delegation, man. You got to delegate. An entrepreneur's job is to is to create the task, you know what I'm saying, and then create the job for it and delegate that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's our job. Our job is to just create these different jobs, create these different tasks, and delegate them to people. And that's what I have done with Ashley and Emmanuel and things like that. And Ashley actually has just came. She has came to me as of recently. I believe that she wants to come in house. She wants to do more work for us. So I think that's a beautiful thing. I was already working with Ashley for the past year and a half. Now she wants to do even more work now going into 2021. So yeah, like delegation, guys, delegation. Don't get into that habit of wanting to do everything by yourself. I'm not saying that that you can't. Like in the beginning years, yes, you gotta be hustling, you gotta be doing a lot of things yourself because we just don't have the money to hire other people. But when you can get an opportunity to hire just even that first person or second person, do it because it will really lighten the load on you and it will allow you to focus on the higher level things of just really making more money in your business so you can hire more people and then you can live the life of just kind of like just being that boss and just delegating and work on other things that you want to work on. That's the key and that's what it's all about. How big is your current warehouse? So our current warehouse is 6,300 square feet. We got that warehouse. When did we get that warehouse? We got that warehouse back in June. We pay, just if you guys want to know, we pay $3,800 a month for that warehouse. It includes all utilities and everything. So all I'm paying is just the rent of that, and then of course like my internet. I pay for my internet and insurance and things like that. But yeah, that's how big our current warehouse is. Our store is 1,000 square feet, so that's where we were producing. But after we took all the production out of our store, we have now made our store 1,000 square feet brick and mortar store, and then we have our warehouse production at that 6,300 square feet, 6,300 square foot warehouse. Um, but to be honest with you, we're busting out that warehouse right now. Like we could really use a 20,000 square foot warehouse right now. Like for where we want to go, and for where we're really trying to go. We bring it on Amazon, and so we have so much wholesale interest that we turn it all down. We turn everything down because we just honestly don't have the space. I thought that when we got the 6,300 square foot warehouse, that this was a huge step up, but we literally outgrew that joint in like a couple months. And the reason why is just because storage. I think storage and inventory is the biggest space that we need. It's storage. I mean, storage of materials. I mean, our cost of our product has come down because we can order a lot more. But it would come down even more if I could order even way more. Like if I could order oils for 6 months rather than 3 months, what would my cost be then? If I could store inventory, like if I could fill my whole warehouse up with inventory, that would be amazing. But right now, we don't even have the space to hold a crazy amount of inventory right now. So we either got to like figure out ways to maximize space and to stretch out a little bit and to just figure out how we're going to work it out. I actually do a video to show you guys what our warehouse is looking like and just kind of how tight it is right now. Um, but we are thinking about just finding another space. I did put a year clause in that lease, so it was a 3 year lease, but I did put a clause after 1 year that if we outgrew the space, that we could get out of that lease. So either they would let us out the lease or they would try to accommodate us. So I have to let them know by like March, April, what we're gonna do. So I think we're at that time where we need more space because I don't think that we're gonna be able to do what we want to do next year in a 6,300 square foot warehouse. Like we need a way bigger warehouse. Question: is Emmanuel taking any more clients? Absolutely, he's taking more clients. And Emmanuel's my friend, man. He's like a good friend of mine. I'm 29, but Emmanuel's like 23, so he's very young, but he's niche. He's focused on your paid ads. So if you want to run paid ads, he has an agency where they will manage it and manage the budget. He has his retainer fee, and then he also manages your budget, and he will allocate the budgets to all the pieces of content that you want to run. So yes, he's taking more clients. He actually just added on a client just recently, a good friend of mine. He just added her, and I don't want to name drop who she is, but I just give you some context. The client that he just added, she spends about $300,000 a month on ads. So yeah, so he's taking clients all the way that's spending 10,000 a month to all the way to $300,000 in a month. So he is taking more clients. What I'll do, I'll actually add his contact information here for if you guys want to hit him up. I actually have a meeting with him today, so I'll talk to him and I'll see if we can get like if I can get like an exclusive deal for people who are just in Patreon. And if you guys are interested in using his services, maybe I can get like some type of special deal, special discount that he could offer just to my patrons for you guys to use his services if you are interested in using his services. But again, I highly recommend him. He's a great guy. He's very open. He's going to stay open communication with you because the thing is, his success is predicated off of your success. So he's going to do everything he can to make sure that your ads are performing where they need to perform, and that's what I love about it and everything like that. So, and then I'm just going to read the last comment. He just said, "I like your thought about creating your own media company in house. It reminds me of the RLC signing Kanye West. I mean, yeah, and and let's talk about that a little bit. Whew. So I'll give you a little backstory. So I had a videographer back in he was a really he's still a good friend of mine, but we kind of fell out a little bit. It was about money. And one of the videographer, his biggest fear was that I would create a in-house media company. That's what his biggest fear was because he knew that I knew how to do everything. I knew how to film, I knew how to do ads, I knew how to do email, the whole nine, Shopify, whatever. I know how to do all of that. So his biggest fear was that, man, like eventually he's not gonna need me anymore. He's gonna just let me go and create everything in house. So this is what I will say. I never was thinking about that. First of all, I had a little bit of thought in my mind, but for him, he wanted more money. I would have gave him more money. We just weren't at that point. We weren't at that point yet to give him more money, and this was back in like February. And if you go back to that first video, you'll see that we did exponential growth from February onwards. So like, he just was a little too early. But that is a thought in my mind that when you use contractors, the thing about contractors, because I have a relationship with these people, I'm nice. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. I value relationships with people. So things like my relationship with Emmanuel, my relationship with Ashley, my relationship with my videographers, which is my brother. Um, I have relationships with these people, and I know them, and so I'm not a type of person that's going to mess you over or f you over or anything like that. But what I will say is that just know that if anything happens with them, especially going over time, and I don't know where the future holds, I do have the ability to create that in-house team, and I do feel like I might go there in the future, and I think that all of my contractors know that. Which the reason why I think that's the reason why Ashley even told me the reason why she wanted to come in house, because they all know I'm the quarterback. I'm the quarterback of the entire system, so I do have the ability to do that. And I think as we continue to grow and we get more money to spend on in-house things, that I'm probably going to invest into it. I'll be honest with you. Like for example, using contract videographers is cool. I do it to this day. But one of the things about it is that sometimes when, I wish that I had a videographer, with me 24/7 because there are times when the videographer isn't there. He's on working on another project for another client, but I might need some video shot right now. And that goes back to if I had an in-house videographer that I was paying an hourly wage or a salary, he would be here. They would be here. So that's just an interesting conversation. This wasn't a question, but it was just more of a comment. Like, that's the thing, man. I think for direct to consumer brands, it's all about, in-house. Um, but utilize your contractors where strategically. Utilize the contractors. Utilize them. You know, use them for what they are. It actually is cheaper to use a contractor, but over time, having that stuff in house, it's a huge advantage. Huge advantage. Like, I think you just strengthen the overall brand and equity of your company. Like, if I was to say I have a whole in-house media team, like that just makes the equity of our businesses go up. That makes the value of our businesses be even higher. You know what I'm saying? Because we have an in-house team. Like that's super dope. And I don't have to outsource anything. So that's just the thoughts that go on in Quinn's head, man. It's all about produce for yourself, man. And I'm everything that I said and all these questions that I answered. You know what I'm saying? It's not to down anyone or to to downplay contractors. But at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. It's about growing this company, man, and going direct to consumer. So I hope you guys received a lot of value today from these questions. Again, if you guys got any questions like feedback, feel free to ask me, and I'm gonna answer them on video if it's appropriate for me to do that. So comment below, leave down your feedback, and I'll see you guys on the next video.